Yeah.
Welcome back to the Gridiron Expert. The dynasty is far from over. The Clemson Tigers come in at number 10 in our way too early top 25 despite a disappointing 10-3 season in 2021. And yes, many viewed it as a disappointment because the Tigers were out of playoff contention by the end of September. But this is still a team that won 8 of their final 9 games to end 2021. Still a team that is led by one of the better head coaches in the game right now in Dabo Swinney. And this is still a team that with the talent they still have, the coach that they still have, and the schedule that they have, can retake the ACC in 2022. So guys, welcome back to the Gridiron Expert as we prepare to break down Clemson's schedule and brief outlook for this upcoming season. But before we get started, please continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos, and check out everything down in the description below. Again, taking that time to hit that like button, to leave a comment to tell us what you think Clemson's going to do in 2022. Taking that time to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of the content we have coming forward for you. It helps our channel out tremendously. So do not miss out on that. If you love college football, guys, this is the place for you, and we want you here. We want you to be a part of our Gridiron Expert team, or the part of the Gridiron Expert Nation. So please continue to like, comment, subscribe, and help our channel grow, because the football content we've got coming up these next few months is stuff that you're not going to want to miss, and that no football fan should miss. So we take a look at Clemson, guys. Again, disappointing. I would love it if my team's disappointing season was a double-digit win season. Yes, they didn't win go to the college football playoff. Yes, they didn't even win the ACC. But the Tigers aren't going anywhere. The Tigers are not going anywhere. And so many will say, how can you go 10-3 and be a top 10 team? Well, it's because they return so much talent. The Tigers are once again loaded. Like many of the other elite programs, they don't have to rebuild. They just reload. And while I do have questions across the board, such as losing their top 2 coordinators and Tony Elliott to Virginia and Brent Venables to Oklahoma, both taking head coaching positions there, while I do have questions at the quarterback position, as DJ Uiagalelei struggled more than many people thought, this is still a Clemson team that has plenty of talent at running back, plenty of talent on the offensive line, and basically returns the entire defense led by Brian Bresee. This is a Clemson team that will be a force to be reckoned with once again in an ACC that, yes, is relatively wide open. Yes, is more competitive than it's been in years past. But to me, Clemson is still the team to beat. If we take a look at their schedule, it's really not that bad, guys. To me, there are not many huge key stretches in there for the Tigers. And this is a team that does have the chance to go back and retake the ACC. They open the year with an ACC game on Monday. On Labor Day Monday, Clemson will travel to Georgia Tech, a team they only beat 14-8 last year. And we know that earlier in the year, Clemson was playing very sloppy football. They could barely get the ball going against Georgia, fell to the Bulldogs 10-3. They barely beat Georgia Tech. They lost to NC State. Clemson did not look impressive. They looked better as the year went on, but early on they did not. And this is a Georgia Tech team, guys, that under Jeff Collins is slowly getting there. They're slowly showing improvement. They're not where they want to be, though. Clemson will be favored in this game. Clemson should win this game. But a road conference game to kick off your year, maybe with quarterback questions, whether it's DJ Uiagalelei or maybe it's Cade Klubnik coming in, a new freshman quarterback, it's going to be a tough game and really an opportunity for all of us to see where Clemson truly is to kick off this year. Then they get Furman. Then they get Louisiana Tech. None of those are going to be too crazy. They get back-to-back games against Wake Forest and NC State, and those 2 games very well could determine who wins the ACC Atlantic Division. To me, that's not the key stretch for Clemson by any means. There aren't many, but we'll touch on that in a second. But the Wake Forest game and the NC State game are arguably, those 2 teams, the top 2 competitors to Clemson in the Atlantic. No doubt about it. We've already discussed Wake Forest in our top 25. Haven't even discussed NC State yet, which means, yes, we do have the Wolfpack right now ranked ahead of Clemson. Doesn't mean it's the best team, though. Clemson beat Wake Forest 48-27 last year in Death Valley. The Demon Deacons were a top 10 team. Clemson demolished them with a phenomenal defensive performance. They lost to NC State earlier in the year at the end of September, fell to the Wolfpack 27-21 in double overtime, that game on the road. So now there's flip-flopping. They get NC State in Death Valley. They have to go to Winston-Salem to take on the Demon Deacons. If Clemson wins both of these games, they almost have the ACC Atlantic locked up. Because when you look at the rest of their schedule, there really aren't many teams in the ACC that you think could really take down Clemson. If they go 1-1, though, it's a wide open race. Wake Forest is still in the hunt. NC State is still in the hunt. And that's why these two games in back-to-back weeks are going to be so important for the Tigers, because the Demon Deacons and the Wolfpack, they're no slouch. Clemson went 1-1 against them last year, failed to win the ACC Atlantic. If they go 2-0, though, I think they've got it in the bag. 1-1, the conference race is going to be wide open as we continue to go through October. So watch out for those two games. They travel to Boston College. They travel to Florida State. So in a 4-week span, they have 3 road games. And that's not ideal for anybody. I don't care who you are. It's not ideal to have 3 of your 4 games going on the road. They beat Boston College by 6 last year, 19-13. Jeff Hafley doing a phenomenal job with the Eagles and should do even better as long as Phil Jurkovec at quarterback can stay healthy. They beat Florida State 30-20 last year, a game that was a little too close for comfort. Florida State team that should show improvement under Mike Norvell, but still doesn't seem to be getting there. Still doesn't have very lofty expectations in 2022, but we do know that Tallahassee can be a very difficult place to play. Clemson by no means can afford to overlook that. So again, that's a very key 4-game stretch right there that we don't even have listed as the big stretch. So again, it's a favorable schedule, but those are not going to be easy wins or easy games for Clemson to have to handle. But again, none bigger, in my opinion, than Wake Forest and NC State. They get Syracuse. They beat the Orange only by 3 last year. Syracuse showed signs of improvement, narrowly fell to the Tigers. I would not expect as close of a game this year, with Clemson hopefully bouncing back and Syracuse remaining about the same, if not being a little bit worse. Then they get their bye week, and then that's where the key stretch comes in for me. If you're looking at it from a competitive standpoint, I think this is your key stretch for Clemson. So you can make the argument it's from Wake Forest to Florida State. There's your 4-game stretch. Or you could say it's the entire month of November, because Clemson has to go to Notre Dame, and then they get to have their last 3 games at home, which is beneficial, but they're playing a Louisville team that only beat by 6 last year. Louisville team that's up and down under Scott Satterfield, but very well could upset Clemson. Then they play a Miami team, now led by Mario Cristobal as their head coach. Got a great quarterback in Tyler Van Dyke. Great job utilizing the transfer portal, and finally have a coach in there that I think people feel confident about. And then South Carolina. Clemson has owned the Gamecocks lately, beat them 30-0 last year, but South Carolina under Shane Beamer surprised everybody last year, going 7-6. He has done a great job utilizing the transfer portal. They have a quarterback now in Spencer Rattler, and I would not be surprised to see this game be a little bit closer than it has been in recent years between South Carolina and Clemson. So to me, those final 4 games are going to be huge for Clemson, especially if they are at the top of the ACC standing, especially if they are back in playoff contention. Because one slip up to Notre Dame, who I believe will be the toughest opponent in this 4-game stretch, or one slip up to Miami or South Carolina, whoever it is, ruins their playoff chances if they're in contention, and a slip up to Louisville or Miami could ruin their ACC title hopes. And more than likely, I think that game would be against Miami, but you never know. That to me is a tough game, guys, tough stretch. Notre Dame going to be the toughest, that game being in South Bend, but Clemson benefiting from a bye week before that. Notre Dame dealing with a brand new head coach in Marcus Freeman, has some quarterback questions of their own. We'll touch on the Fighting Irish here in just a few days. But Clemson, guys, again, they have the coach, Dabo Swinney, to weather this storm. They did it last year. People wrote off Clemson, and they saw a major resurgence down the stretch, again, winning 8 of their last 9 games, won the Cheez-It Bowl over Iowa State. They should be a top 10 team going into 2022. They have some quarterback questions between DJ Uiagalelei and Cade Klubnik. Swinney says he is all in on DJ Uiagalelei. Many, including myself, disagree with that. Things can change before September 5th. But if Clemson works out the issues on offense, I believe they will have one of the better defenses in the country. And that's going to be enough to weather the storm against some of the more elite offenses they're going to face, such as that in Wake Forest and NC State and Miami. Clemson, guys, they're not going anywhere. One down year does not ruin your dynasty, does not prevent you from, being relevant in your conference again. The Tigers are too good, they're too well coached, they have too much talent to be written off and to be completely done. But again, you will know the state of Clemson football. You will know where they're going to stand as they enter October 8th after their 2 big games against Wake Forest and NC State. And if they are looking elite as an undefeated or one-loss team going into the month of November, those 4 games that we just mentioned, the whole month of November, will ultimately define this season for Dabo Swinney and the Tigers. Will they bounce back, or will they once again fall short? And will we truly see the end of the dynasty and really the turning of a page in the ACC? So guys, as always, thank you so much for watching us here at the Gridiron Expert on YouTube. Make sure to continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos. Check out everything down in the description below. Again, we want you to join our Gridiron Expert team. Become a part of the GE Nation, guys, by hitting that subscribe button and helping our channel grow. And once again, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on the Gridiron Expert.